Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters show. It's the 17th of December 25. Today, we are undertaking a deep dive into an absolutely pivotal day of announcements. We've got major corporate strategy, fundamental shifts in global finance, and a pretty significant political realignment right here at home.
That's right. And our mission today is really to cut through the noise, to distill the significance of all these movements. We're tracking everything from massive infrastructure financing right down to the midterm cabinet reshuffle. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with global ambitions. Genting, Malaysia. They officially secured their New York State casino licenses.
This is for Resort World New York City, a huge deal.
So this allows live table games by, June 2026? It gives them a lock on the market, at least for a while.
It does. It secures near-term exclusivity. But let's talk about the cost, because it's a big number.
Yeah, how big?
We're talking US $5.5 billion in funding. That's enormous. It's going to push their net debt up probably close to that RM10 billion mark.
Wow. So they are taking on some serious leverage for this New York bet. Is this kind of aggressive expansion the new norm? I'm thinking of Bjak.
That's a great example. Bjak, the online insurance aggregator.
They're looking at an IPO in the next couple of years, and they're also planning this bold expansion into Europe.
Spain and Germany, starting in 2026. And, it just signals this profound confidence that Malaysian insurtech can actually scale into mature Western markets. That's not something you see every day.
Right. And speaking of the future economy, look at TotalEnergies. Two really fascinating moves at once.
Yeah. On one hand, they're optimizing their portfolio, divesting a stake in Sarawak's SK408 gas block to PTTEP.
But then they turn around and secure this massive 21-year deal.
A huge deal to supply, I think it was 1 terawatt-hour of renewable energy to Google's data centers right here in Malaysia.
Which immediately links our infrastructure to global AI demand. It's a powerful narrative. Meanwhile, Valesto Energy is selling its older Naga 3 rig.
For cash. It's a classic move, liquidating an older asset to free up capital. And most of it, around RM251 million, is going back to shareholders.
So that's a clear strategy. Asset light, higher spec fleet.
Exactly. And we're seeing other key infrastructure moves too. Bank Pembangunan is financing that Coronation Square development in Johor.
That's the one with the link to the RTS station, right?
Crucial connectivity. And in Sarawak, they confirmed the relocation of the Kuching Urban Transportation System's hydrogen depot. It's another solid step in their hydrogen strategy.
Okay, what about governance? I saw Deputy PM Fidel Yusof made a statement on Petronas and Petros.
He did. He signaled cooperation, saying negotiations are progressing well. The goal is to get a settlement early next year and avoid a lengthy court battle.
That's good news. And Dagang Exchange, they're getting a boost.
A big one. They're being included in the FTSE4Good Bursa Malaysia indices. That validates their ESG commitment and, it opens up access to global ESG capital.
So mostly positive moves. The only dip we saw was palm oil, which fell below RM 4,000 a ton.
Yeah, that was mostly pressure from weak exports and falling soybean oil prices.
All right, let's zoom out a bit to the global picture. You can really feel the geopolitical tension. The U.S. paused that U.S. $40 billion tech deal with Britain.
Frustration over digital regulation in the UK. And in the U.S. economy itself, you've got this tough situation. Business activity is slowing, but input costs are soaring. It's a real headache for the Fed.
And some massive shifts in finance are coming.
Huge. NASDAQ is planning to launch near round-the-clock stock trading 23 hours a day by late 2026. The banks are warning about volatility, but the global demand is there.
And then there's the risk from shadow banks.
The Financial Stability Board is sounding the alarm. Assets in that sector just crossed US $250 trillion. They're warning about systemic risks, especially in private credit where the data is. Well, it's murky.
We're also seeing policy reversals. The EU is set to soften its car emissions rules.
Basically scrapping the 2035 combustion engine ban. That's a direct result of industry pressure.
And a lot of focus on currencies.
In China, there's a debate about strengthening the yuan to boost consumer demand. And South Korea's pension service is actively hedging to prop up the won. It's direct action.
Okay, let's pivot back home. The political shifts. The PM announced a big cabinet reshuffle.
A very significant one. 10 ministerial changes, 6 deputies promoted.
And some key moves here, right? Johari Ghani to MIDI, Akmal Nasrullah to economy.
And Hannah Yeoh to federal territories. It's a really comprehensive midterm realignment. Seems focused on execution.
And on the regulatory front, The health minister confirmed a full ban on e-cigarettes and vapes is coming.
Yes, a cabinet memorandum is expected early next year. They're citing the rising health risks. The PM also said the Whistleblower Act is getting amended to close loopholes.
There's also some real scrutiny on integrity.
There is. The AG's chambers ordered that fatal police shooting case in Durian Tunggal to be reclassified as murder.
And that FAM forgery probe seems to be escalating.
It is. The committee couldn't confirm forgery, so they're urging the Football Association to file a police report to get a proper criminal investigation going.
So, if we pull all these threads together, what does it mean? We've seen Malaysia plant some huge strategic flags: green energy, tech expansion, a cabinet overhaul.
Right. But if you connect this to the bigger picture, these structural changes are happening while global forces are pulling in the other direction. You've got trade friction, commodity dips, all that risk and shadow banking.
So the big question is,
Can the ambition we're seeing in this cabinet reshuffle and these big corporate bets generate enough domestic momentum to really insulate Malaysia from those global headwinds that just keep mounting?
something for you to ponder. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and get this concise, valuable breakdown of the news every day, please subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.